Ladies and gentlemen, last week, David Murade, one of the key allies of the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, made a comeback to politics. And towards the end of the week, David Murade made it very clear that in case Raila Odinga will be on the ballot in 2027, Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee Party will rally behind his bid. David Murade is not just David Murade. When David Murade speaks, that's Uhuru Kenyatta speaking. And there's one question which I've been asking myself. What next for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka? Because one thing is for a fact, that Kalonzo Musyoka is keen on running for the presidency in 2027. And Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential bid is actually premised on 4 grounds. Number 1 is the support of Raila Odinga. Kalonzo Musyoka believes that with Raila Odinga out of the picture, he has the best chance of succeeding William Samoei Arap Ruto in 2027. Number 2, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is also banking on the support of Uhuru Kenyatta. There is a strong feeling within Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's camp that if he were to be endorsed by Uhuru Kenyatta, then the Mount Kenya or the mountain might actually support him compared to the way they supported Raila Odinga. In fact, someone joked yesterday in one of the comments on this particular channel that William Ruto would only need Raila Odinga to run so as to rally the support of the Kikuyu nation, and probably that's why William Ruto is still using Rigathi Gachagua to sustain the anti-Raila Luo sentiments. And number 3, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is also hoping that he's likely to succeed by or in inheriting Raila Odinga's support base. Remember, apart from Raila Odinga's support, Raila Odinga has his traditional support base, which is the coastal region, Western Kenya, and now the Luo nation. In case Raila Odinga was hoping that in case Raila Odinga was not going to run, then he was going to inherit the support base. And lastly, Kalonzo Musyoka is also premising his bid, 27 bid, on Kenya Kwanza failure. The fact is, as things stand today, Kenya Kwanza has really failed. And Kalonzo Musyoka is hoping that as we progress towards 2027, majority of Kenyans are going to get angry with the government. In fact, yesterday, I was reading a comment by Pauline Njoroge where she was explaining how she was in the village and some 2 women were like, the Ruto they knew during campaign is totally different from the Ruto who is now president, and they were really wondering what really has happened. And I normally talk to so many people, and the feeling is that Kenya Kwanza has failed so far. Unless William Ruto will do something, then those failures, someone like Kalonzo Musyoka hopes he can ride on them to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya. So the announcement or the statement by David Murade, in my view, is significant politically speaking. What implication will it have on Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential bid? I've always stated on this platform that personally, if you were to give me presidential candidates and Raila Odinga is not amongst them, my chances of voting for Kalonzo are normally very high. So this video, I don't know whether it's going to be biased, but sometimes I tend to think that Kalonzo Musyoka deserves to be the president of the Republic of Kenya, although, just like I've always maintained, Kalonzo Musyoka is prone to mistakes. Kalonzo Musyoka is sleeping on the job, he's doing nothing. But what next after that statement? Because assuming that today we wake up and Raila Odinga will be on the ballot, what next for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as at now? For me, if I were Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, I'd do the following. And by the way, before I proceed, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or 2, press that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. What we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. So the best thing is to subscribe so that you are notified. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without the support, the channel cannot be where it is now. What next for Kalonzo Musyoka? Give this video a thumbs up, please. What next for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka? Number 1, if I were Kalonzo Musyoka, what I'd embark on, I'd forget about every other thing which is being said, or who is going to run, who is not going to run. The first thing I'll do is to revamp Wiper. Kalonzo Musyoka is lucky that for the first time, he has 3 governors from Ukambani elected on Wiper. Kalonzo Musyoka is also very lucky that for the first time he has majority of MPs, senators, and the rest elected on Wiper. That's very good music to Kalonzo Musyoka's ears. But Wiper should now be beyond Ukambani. Wiper should extend beyond Ukambani. So one thing he must figure out is how can he embark on massive recruitment drive. Kalonzo Musyoka needs to revamp Wiper Party. As things stand today, if you talk of Wiper Party, it's just like ANC Party, which is a Maragoli Party. Wiper Party looks like more of a Kambaloya. And how can he revamp it? He can borrow a leaf from Gideon Moi. Gideon Moi is embarking on serious strategies to revamp KANU. How can he revamp Wiper? Number one, Kalonzo Musyoka must look for someone who has credibility, has a name, and make that person the chairperson of Wiper. Once that's done, Kalonzo Musyoka can then go and get another credible person and make that person Secretary General. And these people should come probably from one of Raila Odinga's strongholds. For example, if Kalonzo can identify a Luo who is acceptable and make the SG of Wiper or the chairperson of Wiper, he can even consult me. I can even serve as a huh? You think I can serve as chairperson of Wiper? Or maybe Secretary General? Or maybe in certain level? So that Raila Odinga's stronghold can start talking about him. So that's the first thing he must do. Second thing he must do, apart from massive recruitment, Kalonzo, I'm still talking of revamping Wiper. Kalonzo must then now move and start selling Wiper. He must make Wiper, when you talk of Wiper Party, a name, it must be felt on the grassroots. If I were him, I would change the name of Wiper to something. The second thing now is that Kalonzo must take a leading role in checking the government. You know, Raila Odinga failed, in my view, in 2022, because of handshake. Handshake contributed a lot because Raila Odinga had everything. Raila Odinga had the people, he had everything, but then he was bogged down by the handshake. Raila Odinga was then bogged down by the Jubilee failures. Kalonzo Musyoka must now play the role of the official, in quotes, oppositional leader. So that when there is an issue in this country which requires the voice of the opposition, Kenyans should be ready to look at their back and see, what is Kalonzo Musyoka saying? That's what Kalonzo Musyoka can do. Instead of just focusing on Ukambani, Kalonzo, in my view, must, as a matter of urgency, focus on checking the opposition. Kalonzo Musyoka, if you are listening, please be the face of the opposition in this country. If you do that, you will appeal to the hearts and souls of many people. Supporting the government, opposing the government for the sake of it will not help, but identify certain issues. Like right now, there was this issue of GMOs. Please, such issues, don't let them just die. Let them die while Kenyans conclude that Kalonzo Musyoka at least tried. Do not wait for Raila Odinga. Do not wait for Babu Owino, because Babu Owino is not joking. He will come and take all these people. So for me, that's another thing Kalonzo must do. Number 2. Number 3, Kalonzo Musyoka must start visiting Raila Odinga's strongholds. There was a time I opined on this platform that it's Kalonzo and Murade used to make it very difficult for Uhuru to make them president, because they are normally comfortable. Once Kalonzo is in a funeral in Ukambani, he will make another trip. At some point, Kalonzo started coming to Nyanza. What is stopping Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka from going to Coast every Saturday or Sunday? What stops Kalonzo Musyoka from going to Kisii, let's say in a week? What stops Kalonzo Musyoka in a month, let's say 5 days, going to the coastal region? What stops Kalonzo? He can even just go to visit his friends there. Yeah? But with a good media, if Kalonzo can go to a funeral somewhere with a good media coverage, people will start seeing him to be making progress. You can't expect to win the support of Raila Odinga's strongholds if they're not seeing you. Lazima ujipeleke. That's something which Kalonzo Musyoka needs to do. Number 4 is proper communications or messaging. Raila Odinga, for example, in the last election, I maintained it here, most people did not really understood me. Raila lacked clear messaging. You could not tell what Raila Odinga message was. Now, Kalonzo Musyoka must close his ears to what Raila Odinga is planning, what Murade is planning, what every other person is planning, and start focusing on his clear messaging. He must, at some point, for example, when Musalia Mudavadi was in ANC, he started taking the issue of economy, and he actually ran away with it, so that when he joined Kenya Kwanza, he was now the face of the economic savior. Kalonzo Musyoka also needs to do something like that. He must identify something, stick by it, make Wiper leaders talk about it, make a few opposition leaders speak about it. Himself, he should talk about that particular messaging. Already, we are in just a few days to 2023. Election is 2027. These days are going to run very, very fast. And before we knew, it would have ended. So Kalonzo must focus on that. And number 5 is what I call focus. The other thing Kalonzo can do is that he can decide to run. In fact, I really advocated for this kind of strategy, where Kalonzo Musyoka was just going to be a presidential candidate to consolidate coastal region, to consolidate his region. Then Raila was a candidate, Ruto was a candidate, so that it was going to be easy. Now, like if Kalonzo was a candidate, it was not going to be easy for Ruto, for example, to steal election the way he did. It was not going to be possible for him, like especially in places like Ukambani. Ukambani were going to turn out in large numbers to vote for Kalonzo. Some of them are going to vote for Raila, some are going to vote for Ruto. So Kalonzo must now focus with a view of post-election coalition. Because if Raila Odinga is on the ballot, I don't see chances of Kalonzo Musyoka winning the presidency. Because some of Raila Odinga's supporters are still very bitter, they are still very angry, and they are hoping that they still vote for Raila Odinga. So Kalonzo Musyoka must do those 5 things. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.